fuck Israel, and it's fuck Zionism, and it's also fuck a lot of y'all too. Like, fuck a lot of y'all too, bro. This is going to be in history books. This is going to be something that is referenced for the rest of fucking forever. This is not some little, like, this is not small. This is not light. This is not like a, damn, that's crazy, keep it pushing. What are you doing? You guys watch my stories and you like my posts and you interact with me and you text me and you reach out for features and you fucking ask me to do this and this and this or whatever the fuck, or you compliment. Stop. The respect, like any ounce of fucking respect, like it is gone. The disorients that is this fucking industry, that is my peers of highly fucking platformed people, well-paid people who have already beat the fucking game, and you can't stop for a second and recognize that we wouldn't have anything that we have. Nothing we do has a fucking purpose without people, and you can't turn the fuck around and reach back for people. You can't speak. Disgusting. Ew.
Sorry about that, y'all. Trying to get the layout right. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Good Faith Show. I'm your host, Andre Morton, and The Good Faith Show is only exclusively on the ATP Network. You can catch the ATP Network on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, and Twitter. And before I get to that banger-ass video, I'm going to play it again. But let me get to the shameless plugs. Like the video. You know, it helps us go a long way, man. Like, you know, YouTube, they got us down pretty hard at times, you know. So when you like the video, it pushes out in the algorithm. I can't talk today. Not a good day for me, guys. Be sure to, on the bottom of the ticker, follow the ATP Network Twitter account on Twitter. The handle for that is at ATP Network 247. And also too, if you want to help help Palestinians out, go to GazaFunds.com and see what you can do to help contribute, donate, share the tweet, do what you got to do. Share the links, do what you got to do. Anything helps. So shout out to Kalani. Man, like that video is so good. I want to play it again and break it down. So here I go. Play it again.
Israel, and it's fuck Zionism, and it's also fuck a lot of y'all too. Like, fuck a lot of y'all too, bro. This is going to be...
Yeah, silence is complicity. I mean, so many people are so silent on this, you know. But the few people that are talking about this, like Kyrie, he's an NBA player. Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics, he's an NBA player. A few other people I can't think of at the moment for some reason. You know, yeah, like they'll be just as complicit as the ones that are pro-Israel, because like Kalani right here is risking her career because she believes in something dearly. She believes in the people, the Palestinian people, guys. You know, she believes in that. You know, like she could be silent. She, you know, her music could continue her music career. You know, whatever other endeavors she do, like you know, Macklemore too. Like you know, but I'm glad that Macklemore is still out there, still producing stuff, because these people, like these Zionist cucks that probably do own the music industry, like they can, like they got people that can shadow bang you. So yeah, let her continue to cook.
In history books. This is going to be something that is referenced for the rest of fucking forever. This is not some little, like, this is not small. This is not light. This is not like a, damn, that's crazy, keep it pushing. What are you doing? You guys watch my stories and you like my posts and you interact with me and you text me and you reach out for features and
You know, them type of people. I have people like that too. Um, she's talking about other celebrities, but I have other people too. Like, sometimes I want to talk about what's going on in Gaza. I'm like, man, you see how many, you see what Israel's doing to Gaza, and I can tell like the people that I talk to, they're like, yeah, well, I'm not really too, familiar with that. Which you don't have to be a political head to understand what's going on. Like, I don't understand, a lot of people are tuned out of stuff like this, and it's so unfortunate, And I'm talking about people I know, like friends. She's talking about celebrities that that want her to do stuff with them, but like instead of reaching out to her, talking about a feature to this song that have nothing to do with Palestine. How about being a feature on Kalani's song or something like that, talking about Palestine? Like, no, no, no. Because the reason why the celebrities are silent because they don't want to lose their gigs. They don't want to lose, their record labels. Cause think about it, man. Like when you in the music industry, especially like it's a damn slave. It's like indentured servitude. It really is. Like you read those contracts, like after the record label gets the cut, the producers get their cut and all that shit. Like what money does the talent have? So and they don't want to lose that. They scared. Oh, if I talk about Palestine, oh, I might lose. Like I don't I don't understand like how much power people have. Like if everybody, every celebrity. I know all celebrities ain't pro Palestine. That's unfortunate. But I said most of the celebrities that are afraid of talking about this issue all come together along with Kalani, along with Macklemore and a few other people I can't think of, and say, hey, we stand with Palestine. What the record labels gonna do? Well, I mean, what they gonna do? They can't kick all of you out. So yeah,
you fucking ask me to do this and this and this or whatever the fuck, or you compliment, stop. The respect, like any ounce of fucking respect, like it is gone. The disorients.
but you know what though? So many people show their ass, man. A lot of celebrities that I wasn't, I wasn't like a fanboy of them or nothing like that, but I respected them. Like I don't respect them anymore. I mean, I don't worship celebrities. I'm saying like people I used to look up to. I like their stuff, I like their movies, I like their music or whatnot. Like I don't even listen to these people anymore. Like my music library before October 7th is literally cut in half because DJ Khaled, for example, I used to like DJ Khaled music. His music was good. Then he's silent on the issue. So I'm like, yeah, yeah, like that. Yeah, he don't want to lose his luxuries. He don't want to lose his money. So and he's Palestinian. That's the craziest thing about DJ Khaled. He's Palestinian. He's quiet on it. Oh my god, like yeah, so many people show their ass.
That is this fucking industry. That is my peers of highly fucking platformed people, well paid people who have already beat the fucking game, and you can't stop for a second?
Exactly, like Beyonce. Like I get that what she's talking about too. The people that's way on top. Like if Beyonce talks about Palestine, her record sales will not drop. Maybe a couple of Zionist kooks that like her music will stop listening to it, but I mean, like, imagine, like, people, unfortunately, in America, especially, like, people have a cult personality with celebrities for some reason. So anything that Beyonce says or another big time celebrity says, people adhere to it. Unfortunately, like us leftists, we can only say so much. Like people don't know who we are because the system, the algorithms of these platforms is holding us back from speaking the truth to power while they uphold um garbage like her take and Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk and them, like that garbage. But it is what it is, man. Like, you know, yep, silence is complicity.
And recognize that we wouldn't have anything that we have. Nothing we do has a fucking purpose without people, and you can't turn the fuck around and reach back for people. You can't speak.
Exactly. That's it right there. Um, like yeah. Um, I mean yeah, yeah, like people buy they albums. I'm pretty sure, Palestinians probably, before October 7th, bought, some of these celebrity stuff. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. But the people that supported you, you can't even respond. You can't even like tweet like DJ Khaled. He can't even make a tweet about it. Are you freaking serious? Still quiet. Like, I look, I have to say this. Like, the Israeli regime has been going on before October 7th. Like, I think us people, us as commentators, need to say that more. But again, like, October 7th happened. Ever since then, Israel really went rogue in Gaza. Basically, Rafah's gone. North Gaza is gone. Like Gaza is really a big old parking lot. in in all this time, and some of these celebrities are still quiet about it. Like, that money that you worry about losing because you speak your mind. Like, you can't say America's a free country when you are scared to speak your mind. Like, a lot of people, say, "Oh, you can't say this, or you can't say that, or you got to be quiet." And like, but it's freedom. What happened is freedom of speech. Like, I guess that don't apply to the workplace, right? I guess not. So yeah, man. Shout out to Kalani. I'm gonna start supporting her music and stuff, and Macklemore too as well. So yeah, I got a few things to talk about, man. It's not really interesting. Only interesting thing I want to talk about is the lung transplant recipient that didn't get it. Talk about that. Talk about CNN panel talking about, is Trump a socialist? Jesus fucking Christ. Then I'm gonna talk about Bernie Sanders being a Zionist cuck he is, and oh yeah, and Trump signed an executive order to bargain to lower prescription drug prices, which like I can see MAGA right now, doing cartwheels, throwing drinks, twerking all over the place because they got King Trump, doing something populist, which I mean, like, I have to say this for clarification purposes. Like, ain't Trump the same dude that got rid of Biden's order to lower like one prescription, two prescription drugs or some shit, but all of a sudden he wants to lower them all to match with a bargaining country or some shit. Like, it just I don't know. And oh yeah, and also too, I'm gonna talk about Benjamin Netanyahu and Trump beefing over Iran. Oh boy, this is gonna be a doozer. So again, guys, if you just got in here, because I know um it takes time for y'all to really come in and watch me. Like the video. It don't cost you nothing. And all right, guys, let's get. All right, guys. So the first story I want to talk about is this right here. Disagreements on the run, straining Trump Netanyahu relationship. Oh boy. Um, it says Israel is worried about any deal Trump might strike with Iran. One source told NBC News. Um, But I thought that, Israel want the United States to intervene in Iran. Now all of a sudden the tables have turned. Like, oh boy. But let's see. It says when President Trump, oh God, when Trump took office in January, he and Benjamin Netanyahu closely aligned on how to approach the most pressing issues of their relationship. Oh God, the war in Gaza and aggression from Iran. Again, like, stop saying the word war. It's not a war. Um, Yeah, and Iran, like Israel's intentionally trying to push tensions with Iran for a variety of reasons. But let me continue. It says Trump lifted a hold the Biden administration had put on sending large bombs to Israel. Gee, oh God, yeah. He encouraged Israeli military operations to finish the job against Hamas in Gaza. He agreed with Netanyahu on confronting Iran and its proxy groups in the region. Why? Because Iran sees what the fuck Israel is. Like, like Iran sees Israel as full of shit. So I guess now finish the job technically. Which when Trump said finish the job, y'all like he using coded language, which I hate coded language. Like he's basically saying wipe out entire generations of Palestinian people too, along with Hamas. Which Hamas again is orphans that that parents have died because the Israeli regime has unalived them, and they just trying to seek revenge, which is in international law, right? Like I thought, but the United States sanctioned the ICC and ICJ because they bend the knee to Israel at every beck and call. So yeah, let's see. But in recent weeks, the relationship between Trump and Netanyahu has become strained as the two leaders are increasingly at odds over a strategy for tackling these challenges now that Hamas has been significantly degraded and Iran weakened, according to two U.S. officials. Two Middle Eastern diplomats and two other people with knowledge of the tensions. Netanyahu sees an opportunity to take out Iran's nuclear facilities. Trump sees an opportunity to remove the threat of Iran acquiring a nuclear weapon by making a deal. As Israel hits Gaza with new military offensive, Trump is pushing for a ceasefire and looking to implement um, his post-war plan for rebuilding the area into a Riviera of the Middle East. And after Trump halted the U.S. military campaign against Iranian-backed Houthi militant group, a shocked Netanyahu said Israel will then defend itself. Um, it says the two recent differences between the two leaders on key strategies and positions have put Trump relationships with one of America's closest allies in bitter crossroads. How they navigate their disagreement going forward will shape the outcome of some core components of the president's foreign policy agenda. It says twice in this past week alone, Trump made public comments that rankled Netanyahu, the two U.S. officials, two Middle East diplomats, and two other people with knowledge of the tension said. Um, it said Netanyahu was particularly upset when Trump said Wednesday that he had yet to decide whether Iran will be allowed to enrich uranium under a new nuclear deal his administration negotiated, the two U.S. officials said. A top advisor to Netanyahu, Ron Dermer, conveyed the message to Trump Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff during a meeting at the White House on Thursday, according to one of the U.S. officials. So yeah, basically, Netanyahu wants to destroy Iran's nuclear sites, while Trump wants to negotiate with Iran on nuclear weapons. Oh God! So yeah, let me continue. For this part, Trump has been frustrated with Netanyahu's decision to begin new military offensive in Gaza, which the president sees is at odds with his plan for rebuilding there, according to one of U.S. officials and one of the people familiar with the tensions between the two leaders. Now, see, this is what really drives me fucking crazy. Like, first of all, you said you give Israel large bombs to finish the job in Gaza. Now, you don't like um, Israel going all in Gaza. Like, what? This guy flip flops. Man, this guy changed his mind more than he changed his draws, man. That damn Trump, boy, I tell you. It says privately, Trump said that the new Israeli offensive in Gaza is a wasted effort because it will make it harder to rebuild, according to those two sources. The U.S. is currently pushing Israel and Hamas to agree to a ceasefire in Gaza, which Derma has set to discuss with Witkoff during the White House visit this week, according to Middle Eastern diplomats and a senior Trump administration official. Well, Trump, you can stop sending weapons to Israel, right, and money and weapons, right? Like they have no choice but to stop. like you, like you don't want to stop. See, you want to pretend like you're populist, you anti-war, but you're not. like Yeah, you really do want Gaza to become a Riviera. You want it to become a resort, a casino, whatever the fuck you call it. Like that. That's what you want, dude. Like let's just stop bullshitting, man. Like, see, I know when people bullshit. Um, but Trump's approach to Iran has been the biggest point of contention for Netanyahu. The Israeli leader has been frustrated for weeks with Trump's refusal to support military strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities and his decision to instead try to reach a deal aimed at blocking Tehran from acquiring a nuclear weapon, according to two U.S. officials. The two Middle Eastern diplomats and two other people with knowledge of the tension. They are worried about any deal, one of the U.S. officials said of the Israelis. Israel has made clear to the U.S. that it does not want Trump to cut a nuclear deal that leaves Iran with any uranium enrichment capabilities. The U.S. officials and Middle Eastern diplomats said Trump has expressed an openness to Iran and maintaining a civilian nuclear program. Yeah, we haven't made that decision yet, Trump said Wednesday when asked if the U.S. position on that Iran can have a uranium enrichment program for civilian nuclear purposes. So, and right here it says Israel had no better friend in history than President Trump. James Hewitt, a spokesperson for the National Security Council, said in a statement responding to the story. We continue to work closely with our ally Israel to ensure remaining hostages in Gaza are freed. Iran never obtains a nuclear weapon and to strengthen regional security in the Middle East. He has repeatedly stated that his first and second term as president is committed to ensuring Iran never obtains a nuclear weapon. So, Trump does not want Iran to have nuclear weapons, and Israel wants to destroy their nuclear sites. So, like again, like I told y'all, like you know, Israel want the United States and Iran to go to war. As a proxy. Like they want a proxy war. Like this is what it's all about. Like this is what I'm getting from this. I mean, people been saying this since last year, and like reading this story is true. And also too, Trump claimed that he don't like the military offensive in Gaza. Well, you idiot is the reason why that is still happening. You can end it, but you don't want to. So, finish your job. But I don't like the military offensive. Like it's just, oh God, man, it's so frustrating sometimes reading what Trump says. But all right, guys, on to the next story. All right, so the next story I got is it says Trump signs executive order to demand pharma industry cut prices. I saw this myself this morning while I was working out, and oh God, I'm gonna get my thoughts on it in a minute. But let me go ahead and read this story. It's from Reuters. Um, um, it says Trump signed a wide-reaching executive order on Monday, directing drug makers to lower the prices of their medicine to align with what other countries pay. That analysis and legal experts said would be difficult to implement. So yeah, so I know what they're gonna if this actually goes to fruition, which I doubt. I see it as a virtue signal, but I'm gonna say this like so the second most expensive country prescription drug wise is more likely they don't agree with. Like you'll see a pattern I'm talking about in a minute. It says this order gives drug makers price targets in the next 30 days and will take further action to lower prices if those companies do not make significant progress towards those goals within 6 months of the order being signed. So they're gonna wait till 6 months to try to do something anyway. And then on top of that, why you just can't fucking lower the drug prices? Why you gotta go by what a other country charge for it? Like what the fuck? This executive order is garbage. It's garbage anyway. Um, but like I said earlier, like, well, MAGA read this and they're like, see, he's for the lower drug prices, which, okay, like, you can believe that. Um, it says Trump told a press conference that the government will impose tariffs on companies if the prices in the U.S. did not match those in other countries, and said he was seeking cuts between 50 and 90%. Everybody should equalize. Everybody should pay the same price. Trump said investors were skeptical about the order implementations and shares, which had been down overnight on the threat of most favored nation pricing. recovered and rose in early morning trade on Monday. The United States paid the highest prices for prescription drugs, often 3 times more than other developed nations. Trump tried in his first term to bring the U.S. in line with other countries, but was blocked by the courts. They don't want this, man. Like, I'm pretty sure Trump gonna back off on this shit too. Trump drug pricing proposal comes as the president has sought to fulfill campaign promises of tackling inflation and lowering prices for a host of everyday items for Americans, from eggs to the gas pump. Which, I mean, eggs are coming down, but I don't think it's because of Trump. I think it's because they got bird flu under control, and gas prices has been stagnant. I mean, it's still what here in Louisiana, 270. Like, and Trump said a week ago gas was $1.98. Like, I want to know when the fuck who's paying less than $2 for gas in America. I don't think nobody is. Cause I'm not mistaken, I think Mississippi has the lowest gas prices, which is $2.60. So yeah. Trump said his order on drug prices was partly a result of a conversation with an unnamed friend who who told the president he got a weight loss injection for $88 in London, and that the same injection in US costs 1,300. If drug makers do not meet the president government's expectation, it will use rule marking to bring drug prices to international levels and consider a range of other measures, including importing medicines from other developed nations and implementing export restrictions. A copy of the order shows. So you telling me that you could possibly bring the vaccine, the treatment for diabetes from China to America, or the COVID vaccine that actually eradicates COVID in Cuba? Nah, nah. It's just it's a lot of fluff. Like, yeah. I know. It says trade groups representing biotech and pharmaceutical decry the move. Of course they do. Of course they don't want prescription drug prices to be lowered. Like, these motherfuckers be lobbying government for the longest time. Like, this is why we don't have Medicare for all, because of these motherfuckers. Um, imported foreign prices from socialist countries would be a bad idea for Medicare patients and workers. It would mean less treatments and cures, and would jeopardize the hundreds of billions our member companies are planning to invest in America. Former CEO Stephen Abu said in a statement. So let me just code that for you. You know, um, by lowering prescription drug prices, it'll hurt our bottom line. Like, they don't give a fuck about the American patient. They don't give a fuck if the patient here in America can't afford it. Like, hey, you can't afford it. We can make it cheap, because, like, the craziest thing about how we discover new drugs and research is that our government, like, our tax dollars, go towards the research and development of these drugs from universities that are funded by the federal government as well. Then farmer could come in, buy the drug for a price, and then charge us 3 or 4 times more for the drug, because they can. Like, oh god, like, I just can't with these people, man. Like, I'm just getting a kick out of this shit. UBL, well, UBL, said the real reasons for high drug prices are foreign countries not paying their fair share and middlemen driving up prices for U.S. patients. I call bullshit. Um, uh, okay. Executive order is likely to face legal challenges, particularly for exceeding limits set by U.S. law, including on imports of drugs from abroad, said health policy lawyer Paul Kim. The order's suggestion of broader direct-to-consumer importation stretches well beyond the statute allowed, Kim said. It says the FTC has a long history of antitrust enforcement actions against pharmaceutical and other healthcare companies. Trump last month ordered the FTC to coordinate with other federal agencies to hold listening sections on anti-competitive practices in the drug industry. On Monday, he was expected to ask the FTC to consider taking enforcement action, sources said. So it says Donald Trump campaigned on lowering drug costs, and today he's going to do that. Americans are tired of getting ripped off. The FTC commission, the FTC will be a proud partner in this new effort, um, says FTC spokesperson Joe Simonson. So, yeah. Here's my final thoughts on this. I think this is, I mean, if this goes through and actually be implemented, I think it'll be a band-aid on a big gash. Like, yeah, maybe drug prices will go down, but it's still a big problem in the medical industry, man. Like yeah, like I said on Twitter earlier, like yeah, it's a band-aid on a big gash. Like it's still gonna bleed out. The gash still gonna might get infected because it's not covered up. Like that's what this executive order is. Like why you just can't just be direct and say, hey, we're gonna lower prescription drug prices for all Americans because we can do that. like, but he did it in a way. See, Trump ain't stupid. Like, I know a lot of people call Trump all kinds, crazy and stupid and stuff. Like that dude, like the way that the executive order written, like we're gonna go by the other nations, like London and Europe and stuff like that, which it's just lower. Their prescription prices are lower, but again, it's not the end all be all. Like people are still going to die because they can't afford it. Like, yeah, you'll lower a cancer drug from $3,000 to $500, but people ain't got $500 to buy the cancer drug. So what are you gonna do? See what I'm saying? Like, still, like, yeah, some people might benefit from it, but some people still will get exploited and or die. Um, so that's all I gotta say about that, man. Like, ah, boy. Um, MAGA gonna enjoy that one, huh? Ain't it? All right, guys, on to the next story. Man, shout out to K-State QB for finding these diamonds in a rut, man. This is fucking crazy. What this video is about, man. Now, apparently, they are discussing whether Trump is a socialist or not, and that shit just really just like my head just like like are you kidding me, man? Like out of all the things to talk about, like the war in I mean the genocide in Gaza, or um, all kinds of stuff, man. You gonna talk about whether Trump is a socialist or not? Without further ado, man, let me play this shit, man. Like I couldn't believe when I read that title of this video. Like what the fuck? Here we go.
Let's get right to what America's talking about. Is Donald Trump a socialist? That provocative question is being posed by a conservative columnist. As more on the
You remember MAGA communism? Oh God, that debacle within itself. Oh my God, but back to this.
right slam what the president is doing to the economy. But it is deeper than the right's caricature of socialism with AOC and Bernie Sanders, that everything should be free and capitalism is the enemy. In the Dispatch, Kevin Williamson writes that real socialism in countries includes, quote, a centrally planned economy, one that is dominated by state action. Here are just some of his examples. Socialists use sacrifice as a theme. Be content with less to help the nation. Does that sound familiar to you?
We may have short-term some little pain, and people understand that.
There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. I'm just saying they don't.
That's not socialism. Socialism supposed to be like saying like everybody has a fair shot. Like it's not capitalism is what Trump talking about. Yeah, hey, there'll be a little pain because I gotta let my robber baron buddies eat first, before I get the scraps to the peasants, especially my voters that voted for me. Like, yeah, like that's what he talking about. This is not no socialist rhetoric. Get out of here, man.
Don't need to have $30. They can have 3. They don't need to have 250 pencils. They can have 5.
Number 2, control. The government should decide everything from prices to interest rates. Now, if that sounds familiar, it's because you just heard Trump say it last week. Quote, "We are a department store and we set the price. I meet with the companies, then I set a fair price, what I consider to be a fair price." He goes on to say, "I set the tariff on countries." And socialism trait number 3, a figurehead, someone who says, "I'll be the one to exert that control, to make the decisions." Sound familiar?
To anyone on Wall Street this morning, I would say trust in President Trump.
Life's going to be beautiful here in America. Trust in Trump.
The investors trust President Trump.
Come on, let the guy build America back and trust him. And he's really, really on it.
And we haven't even mentioned Trump's...
You know what? Trust Trump. Oh, man, I'd rather trust this pencil I got sitting beside my computer, man. Like, trust a neocon, warhawk, capitalist, which y'all say, which a conservative said he's a socialist. Like, come on, man. Oh my God, this shit is crazy. This is literally a segment on CNN. Like, come on, man.
spending spree ideas like no taxes on tips without justifying how to pay for them. So, question for the table here. I mean, Arthur was like, you're looking at me.
Is he
a socialist?
No. Look.
Is this MAGA socialism?
I know this is not exactly the road you want to go down, but I had this conversation.
MAGA socialism. Man, they're so fucking disrespectful to people that believe in socialism and Marxism and other stuff like that. They said college man are outright communists. Oh my God, bro. Oh Lordy. Even this guy had come and said, he said, no. What? He's not.
This morning with my wife, like, does our 3-year-old need 10 dolls? Like, can she get by with 2? Like, we got presents on Christmas, Easter, and your birthday. Those were the 3 days you got presents. But I think what Trump is saying is no pain, no gain. If we got to fix some stuff, we're gonna have to absorb some pain. But in the long run, trust Trump, and it's gonna work out.
Okay, so the answer is...
He's not a socialist. That's ridiculous. It's insane.
But a lot of the arguments that have been made by Republicans over the years really do sound like exactly what Trump is espousing. Here is more from Kevin Williamson. Donald Trump's vision of the economy is classic socialism. Trump's view of a man at a desk moving pieces of the economy around like rooks and pawns on a chessboard is what socialism is about.
But you understand that's a metaphor.
It is a metaphor. That's not socialism. Oh man, do I have to look up the definition of socialism? Jesus Christ, man. Oh my God, bro. Let me see, socialism. Oh God, let me look it up right quick. It says socialism is a political and economic philosophy that advocates for social ownership of means of production as opposed to private ownership. It encompasses a range of economic, political, and social theories and movements aiming to implement such systems such as public, community, collective, cooperative, and employee ownership. Oh God! So the doll thing, that's not socialism. Like, even that man said it. Like, what in the world is wrong with these people? Like, they ain't got nothing else to talk about. Like, if Trump was a socialist, he'll basically say, Amazon, Target, and Walmart should be owned by employees. The employees work hard. They do a beautiful job. Like, no. Like, Trump is a capitalist. He's not a socialist. Like, he wants to own everything. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let me continue, man. I had to look up the definition. Oh, my God.
That's just the opinion of that writer. And this is a writer in a newspaper who's struggling for relevance, right? The Dispatch, where's the Dispatch? It's a bunch of old Republican, old right-wing news time people, right, newspaper people who formed this organization to basically find some new relevance. And they knew that if they gave a headline, Trump is a socialist, people would not only click on it, but other media outlets would start covering it. Is Trump a socialist? No. Let's talk about Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders vacations in Cuba, praises the Cuban leadership. Vacations in the USSR, praises the USSR.
Well, let's talk about the policies, though, Joe. Let's talk about the actual policies.
Having a tariff is not setting a price. Having a tariff by which another country or the importer has to pay a tariff isn't setting the price.
What about saying to companies, you must come to the White House and clear how you list your prices on your website? You can't raise...
What? Abby Fuller. That's not socialism, right? That's control. Socialism is when everybody has a say. Like, Trump wants to have a say in every damn thing. What the fuck are you talking about? That's not socialism. Oh my God, bro. I really do believe CNN is trying to intentionally spin this as saying he's a socialist without, saying that he actually is. I'm like, are you out of your mind to think this man is a socialist? Are you out of your freaking mind? I mean, if he was, things would be different, right? But he's not. And Bernie Sanders is not a socialist. He's a social democrat. That's a difference. All right, come on, man. Let's not go down Bernie Sanders road. I gotta talk about Bernie Sanders in the next segment, but goddamn, man. Oh Lordy. Oh man, that's sad. A po-ass irrelevant YouTuber like me has to tell y'all the truth about socialism when CNN and you got Abby Fuller spinning it as, oh no, he told the CEOs he wants to set the prices of stuff and the tariffs and like, come on, man, get out of here. Oh God.
These prices because I said so. What about that?
But is he suggesting it, or is he doing it with the barrel of a gun? Because if you look at communist countries and socialist countries, suggesting something.
My guy Joe is pulling out page 2 of the Trump playbook. Because when you don't have like a really good argument on policy about why Trump is doing certain things, then you attack the personalities or you attack the institutions. So instead of talking about Trump's proposal, Joe just did what Trump always does, which is just to attack the newspaper and the writers, etc. The fact is, Trump isn't a socialist. I mean, I agree with you on that. I just think he's inept. I mean, the chaos that he has up there, he literally looks as if he is in deep water, doesn't know what he's doing, and he actually has some decent people around him. I like the Treasury Secretary from Charleston, South Carolina. I wish he got an opportunity to lead. He doesn't. Look, if we wanted to go out and put 10% tariffs across the board on every country, Congress should do that. They should step on the table. That should be a compromise. They should do it in 6 months so companies can have some consistency. That's all they're looking for. The market is in shambles. The economy is shrinking. Consumer confidence is going down. And we're about to see this play out not only with wages, but employment. Trump isn't a socialist. I just think Trump is not smart.
Well, I lived through a right-wing dictatorship in Nicaragua, and I lived as a child through left-wing dictatorship, the socialists, the Sandinistas. What do? They like to ration things, right? So the things that are coming out of Trump's mouth sound
here she go.
Like rationing for the American people. I agree with you. He's not a socialist. What he is a authoritarian, and what he is a corrupt hypocrite. Because at the same time that he's telling you that you can only give your children 5 pencils and 3 dolls, he is making billions of dollars. He and his family are making billions of dollars out of a crypto grift. His wife is getting paid tens of millions of...
I mean, she's not wrong. I like how she started it off like, the left wing, we had a left wing, the left wing socialist was kind of like a rationer, see, people want to paint socialism as everybody has the same house, everybody has the same car, everybody has the same everything, right? Which that's not even what the definition says, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, I see what you're doing. What's her name? Anna Navarro, and I think she's part of the Lincoln Project. I think, like those type of Republicans, like them Republicans are like the type of people that like they like the incrementalism of a little little cordial, shit going on, but they still like the tax cuts. They still like the other stuff. The corruption, they not really too corrupt heavy like Trump. Like, yeah, so yeah, man. Like, I had to call that out.
Of dollars, $40 million by Amazon for a documentary based on the coffee book that she put out on her life. And so it's incredibly hypocritical for, these billionaires to be telling the American people who are having a hard time paying for their groceries that they should endure a little pain. It is cruel. It is like so nonchalant,
but
so
where
Marie
were all these arguments when Joe Biden's inflation was killing America?
So
this is what
did he ever tell people, go ahead, feel a little pain?
He didn't have to tell them when you went to the grocery store and your bill was $400 more than it was last week.
The reality is they still are feeling.
Man, I'm gonna say this, like, yeah, Joe Biden, yeah, things under Joe Biden was bad. No doubt about that. That's why they lost. That's why Democrats lost the presidential election. But like this is what I'm saying about these two parties, man. Like, you got one party say, "Hey, I'll make things better for you. I'm gonna lower your grocery prices," and then you got the other party that said the exact same thing. Like, like I just wish sometimes we just get out of this ever-ending cycle. Like, it's still so many millions of people in this country are just so blind to the issue that like a lot of people waking up now, but it's not everybody, unfortunately. Like, it have to be at least 80-90% of the population to realize, like, these two parties are full of shit. Both of them are grifters. Well, they're grifters too, basically. They're liars. Like my life is still hard. I'm still struggling. Like, I mean, in inflation, before I continue it, like, inflation is mostly greedflation. Like, these corporations, they just want to jack up the prices, because to satisfy they stock portfolios. Like, that's what it's all about. It's not inflation supposed to be like if it's a drought or something, like, or a flood or something, and the food supply is limited. Like, the corporations can recruit. You're gonna raise the price for the corporations to recoup for the losses, because they lost a lot of food, because if it ain't growing or it's flooded away. Like, but that's not really happening. So they just make any excuse possible. Like with Biden, the pandemic, actually, if these corporations actually give a shit when the pandemic was happening, they would have lowered their prices, but they didn't. Prices just stayed the same, and then, they blame damn, what you calling it? The the supply chain, and Jamie even excuse to jack it up even higher, which they really didn't have to jack it up high. So, let me continue.
That pain, and they're going to continue to feel more.
If you don't want to buy your daughter more than $3 or your son more than $3, don't. But you can buy them 10 because we live in America and we should have that choice. It's not the president's role to say your kids only need $3 or $10. That's the first point.
People weren't going to have money to buy the dolls.
Well, they aren't going to have money to pay the dolls. We aren't going to have the dolls. The dolls are going to be too expensive. It's going to be
Barbie prices just went
a compound effect because of what Donald Trump is doing. The second thing is, you talked about the Dispatch being just some old Republican. That's your party. These people that are writing this are like people that probably voted for.
I like Jonah.
I like Jonah. Right? Jonah's one of our
Okay, if you don't like the Dispatch, fine. Okay, here's the national review. Here's the national review. The man who for decades has been a symbol of unapologetic American excess is now defending his tariff policies by making the case against abundance. Trump is now arguing that children are going to have to get used to having less.
As luck would have.
So what? Trump said you should have 2 or 3 instead of 10 jobs. That make him a socialist? Come on now, that's not socialism. That's what they saying. That's what they saying out of this. Like, oh God, man. Like, see, this is why people need to leave their own bubble and actually go to countries that are actually socialist countries and see how those people are living. I'm pretty sure those people are not, having to share, pretty sure they have choice, like, the way people describe socialism. Like, come on, man. Total bullshit.
Have it. I came here from the Manhattan Institute Gala, and who was sitting right next to me at the table but the editors, some of the editors from National Review. And I said, I think I'm talking about you guys tonight. I said, let me ask you something. You guys disagree with Trump a lot, right? And they said, yes, our paper, we sometimes disagree with Trump. Do you have any buyer's remorse in voting and supporting Trump over Kamala Harris? And it was met with a roar of laughter, like, no, absolutely not. And they cited things like DEI and other things that they were appreciative of. We have a big tent party, and we can disagree. But I do not think that any one article or two articles saying Trump's a socialist should trigger.
I don't think Trump is a socialist either.
This is my point. This article is so ridiculous.
Can I just ask you?
Put the headline on the title.
I mean, the article is ridiculous. It's stupid. Like, these people just have nothing to do. They just say, oh, just say one. You know, they take the word socialism out of context, and then they take something that Trump said and say, oh, Trump is a socialist. He's a socialist. He's a socialist. I knew it. I knew it. Like, give me a break, man. That's not socialism. Come on.
Well, let me ask the liberals at the table a question, because I'm actually very curious about this. Why are you all so opposed to the idea that maybe Trump actually might support socialist ideas? Is it because
I just don't think he is.
I don't think that way in your party.
No, because I think that there are people who on the left who would be aghast right now on the internet and everywhere else if you lump me in with the AOCs and Bernie Sanders of the world, and that's not it at all. I just think we're giving Donald Trump too much credit. And what I would also
I didn't think that calling Trump a socialist was necessarily giving him credit.
because it seems as if he's accidentally falling into some robust political policy.
This is what's not ringing true, though. Look at the automobile industry based on these tariffs. Do you know how many companies are now going to build their cars in America? Honda's expanding their plant. Volkswagen is expanding. Within 6 months.
I mean, so that makes Trump a socialist because companies want to now come back to America, which is not true. I mean, most of those car companies are here in the assembly plants. So, I mean, I just don't. I mean, I just don't really know what to say at this point. I'm gonna continue it for a few more minutes. I'm gonna get moved to the next story because this is a waste of time. These people, at least all of them admit that, hey, he's not a socialist, but for CNN to come up with this is just bonkers to me, man.
Ford said today that they're raising prices.
They're raising prices and laying people off.
But you know why? Because Ford builds some of their stuff in Mexico and in Canada. But the Europeans and the Japanese are coming to America to create jobs.
1 second. Just
Ford's losing Canadian jobs and Mexican jobs.
Two fundamental questions. You do realize that there's no such thing as a fully American-made vehicle because even the big three utilize pieces from Mexico and Canada. Therefore, the price is going up.
What about Tesla?
Exactly. I had to agree with Bakari sellers of all people. Like, bro, no, dude, we don't make nothing in America anymore. Why these people? You know, these people they comfortable. Like they don't know how manufacturing works in America in 2025. Like, bro, this ain't 1965 no more, bro. Like, we don't make nothing here. Most of the shit that we use to put the cars together come from Mexico, Taiwan, India, China, Canada. Like, this guy is so stupid. Like, see, Trump is making an impact, you know, cause with the tariffs, cause you know they're bringing back all these, bringing back 100 and Volkswagen bringing back. Like, no, bro, like, like we still like, what you think? Let's say Honda got a parts plant in Canada. You think they're gonna move that parts plant from Canada to the United States because to satisfy Trump? Hell no. Like, why would we, if it's working, why would you do that? Like, you know, and for that, you can blame Bill Clinton and the Democrats in the 90s for that. Like, we used to make things. We don't make them anymore. Like, even the job I used to work at a semi-truck engine plant. Like, those parts are from Mexico and Germany and all that stuff. The blocks to make the engine is from Germany. Like, they're not even made here in America. Like, they have machines in the engine plant to drill holes and stuff in them. Then they put them together in the assembly line, and you know, and ship them off to another assembly plant to put the truck together. So like nothing is made in America. Like yeah, we assemble stuff, but assembly and manufacturing is totally different things. Like apparently he don't understand. Oh God.
But what I want to,
Tesla is the number. Why are you shaking your head? Tesla is the number one vehicle made with American parts.
Let me respond.
Honda is number two.
Okay, Arthur, let me respond to that. Tesla is more American made than those other cars, but even they have said the tariffs are going to hurt us.
But do you think the tariff is good policy? You too. That's what I mean. That's the large question. Do you actually think?
I don't think 145% on China is a good thing.
Do you think this willy-nilly tariff policy is good? Not the insults on the Dispatch or National Review and eating that rubber chicken at the gala tonight. Like, do you think
it was filet mignon, actually? It was lamb. It was lamb. It was lamb.
Really, the word is the last part here.
I mean, come for the catering. Hold on, guys. Hold on.
The problem, so whether he's a socialist or not, I think is not a relevant question. But he does have authoritarian characteristics that I think are far more troublesome. The attacks on the media, the attacks on the arts, the unwillingness to accept election results. I mean, he's still there and he won't accept the election results from 2020. These are all things that Ortega does, that Maduro does, that the Castros did, the weaponizing of government against their opposition.
I'll put it back now. I'm going to end it here. But Castro, see, why do you always want to make Castro as an evil guy? Like even the co-founder of the network, she said when she was growing up, her parents, well, her mom, I guess, or I guess her family denounced Castro. Like propaganda works, man. Like, oh no, Castro did. That was Maduro. Yeah, Maduro's an evil motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie to her with that. But Julio Castro, you can say a lot about Julio Castro, but he knew he was on the right side of history when it came to Palestine. So yeah, I had to say that, man. Like,
Those are all things that dictators do. And so I will keep saying that he walks like a duck, he talks like a duck, and he looks like a duck. Is that the saying?
Yes, it is. I think
something like that.
All right, I'm in it, there, man. I can't believe CNN had that bullshit, bro. Like that's crazy. That is crazy, man. I mean, Trump was socialist. Then they're gonna get articles from irrelevant news sites. Like, are you like? Oh man, that's like some shit that they'll do for Saturday Night Live or something. Like, come on, bro. All right, guys, on to the next story. This is why Luigi Mangione did what he did. Stuff like articles like this, man. Like, it's always articles like this. You gotta find them on the internet. People get denied this, people get denied cancer treatment, or people get denied major surgery. But the man was preparing to get a lung transplant, which sometimes be on those transplant lists, depending on certain circumstances, take years. So this man I don't know how long, but this man wait a while to get on the list, wait to get the lung, and then insurance at the last second cut the plug, say, no, we ain't gonna cover this. Like, this is why, and this is why they are trying to make an example out of Luigi too, because they know they're in the wrong. But if they get them and want to, now they want to implement the death penalty on them, it'll dehumanize people from desensitize people from doing what he did, which, to be honest with you, I think something else is going to pop off. I'm just going to leave it at that because I'm on YouTube. So this is from ABC 7 Eyewitness in LA. It says insurance denies man a life-saving lung transplant as he was preparing for procedure. Like, imagine getting ready to have a life-changing moment in life so you could breathe again, you could function again, and then a nurse or whatever tells you that, hey, your insurance might not pay for that. You need $80,000. I wonder how you will feel. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be good. So I'm finna play this video, then I'm gonna read the story. Let me see.
to fly cross country for a life-changing double lung transplant when his insurance company denies his coverage.
Then the guy flew cross country? Damn, man. Oh, boy. Oh, my God.
Eyewitness News reporter Leanne Suter joining us live in Santa Monica with more on the man's fight for his life. Leanne.
Mark, at this point of Deron Wells' fight, his only hope is that nationally recognized double lung transplant clinical trial. He's been medically approved for it, and he thought his insurance was going to be following suit. He has just learned, though, he has been denied coverage.
It's devastating to me.
Fighting for his breath, Deron Wells is battling stage 4 lung cancer. The husband and father of 3 is also now battling his insurance company.
I'm really sad that life is in the hands of these decision makers who seem to make these decisions in such a cold way.
Yep, this is a cold country we live in. Now they're using AI to determine, whether to approve your claim or not. Oh God, man, this is just diabolical. This poor man, you see he's on heavy dose of oxygen. Oh my goodness gracious.
59-year-old and his family say Cigna had approved him for procedures that would allow him to be transferred to Northwestern Medicine in Chicago for a clinical trial double lung transplant he had been medically approved for. But Friday, as they were preparing to leave UCLA Medical Center Santa Monica, Cigna denied coverage for both the transplant and medical transfer to Illinois.
The last option we have is for us to take him to Northwestern, period. And I hope Cigna really understands the seriousness of the situation. We're not just a number. We were talking about his life.
Lung transplants are not a standard treatment for lung cancer. In a statement,
these insurance companies see you as a number. They see you as, they take, you pay your premiums every month, and then when you need stuff like that, randomly they have prerequisite on why they deny you, which a lot of times they don't even tell you why they denied you. I'm so glad that my mama's insurance, yes, it's United Healthcare. She still see, one thing that messed up, even if insurance said they're going to pay for it, they still found some way for you to come out of pocket as well. My mama had to pay $300 or something, $250, to the day of the carpal tunnel surgery, and then they paid partially for physical therapy. Now she owe $80 or something like that. So yeah, what's the point of paying into something where you still have to come out of pocket? You pay for insurance. This is what I thought. You pay an insurance, and then when something happens, you get the services you need, but that's not how it works. It's sad, man.
Cigna Healthcare says in part, quote, our coverage guidelines are grounded in national clinical standards to help ensure the best possible outcomes for patients.
So basically what we're saying is, this is, they really don't mean this, but basically they're saying we determine, whether this procedure, if you pay for this, it may not meet our bottom line. That is what they're saying. They're not fooling anybody. See this PR bullshit right here. Come on, man. Nobody's buying that shit.
As Wells awaits an appeal, friends have launched a campaign to help him get the life-saving transplant.
Deron deserves this chance that we're fighting so hard to make sure that he gets.
The once active and healthy father says his fight for life isn't over.
It's sad, only in America, where people have to make crowdfunding campaigns just to get procedures done. Where all of this shit, fuck the healthcare middleman, Medicare for all is the only way. It's nothing else. There's no public option, which is still giving it's basically, you know, a subsidy to the middleman. Like nobody shouldn't have to do that. Like this country is crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You know, this is why a lot of people are leaving America and going to other countries, because the number one reason is because they have free healthcare. Like I did an article on it last year, you know, and I thought about leaving too, because God forbid if I get sick. Like I'm pretty healthy right now, but you never know down the road I could be real sick, and I got my employer insurance and they might not cover life-saving treatment. Then what? I die and leave my family behind or something? Like all because of greed.
Truly hoping that Signal will change its tune, and we'd have a positive outlook on this case, because I'm not done yet.
As Wells sits in the hospital tonight here in Santa Monica, he says that he isn't giving up. He's been told that he will hear on his appeal, get an answer within 72 hours. That will be on Thursday. And in his case, every day counts. Live in Santa Monica, Lee Hyun Suter, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
New at 11.
So yeah, man, this poor guy. You know, he seemed like to be a strong, courageous man. Like he said, he ain't gonna give up. Which, you know, he shouldn't have to. I mean, you came all this way. Like he already had obstacles in the way. You know, then he had a chance to breathe again, double lung transplant, and you know now the middleman for-profit health insurance said, no, you can't have that because that will hurt our bottom line. So yeah, but let me read you the article. Let me make it bigger here. There we go. It says a man was preparing to fly across country for life-changing double lung transplant when insurance company denied him coverage. Deron Wells is battling stage 4 lung cancer. The husband and father of 3 is now battling his insurance company. I'm really sad that my life is in the hands of these decision makers who seem to make these decisions in such cold way. Wells said, "Yeah, it's cold. Beyond, man, cold is a nice way to put it. Evil, diabolical, fucked up. Like, then, you know, it says the 59-year-old and his family say Cigna had approved him for procedures that allow him to be transferred to Northwest Medicine in Chicago for a clinical trial double lung transplant, which he had been medically approved for. As they were preparing to leave UCH Santa Monica Medical Center on Friday, Cigna denied coverage for both the transplant and medical transfer to Illinois. So it says the last option we have is to take him to Northwestern, period. I hope Cigna really understands the seriousness of the situation. We're not just a number. We're talking about his life. His wife, Janet, I can't say her last name, Sarah Finamutu. Lung transplant are not a standard treatment for lung cancer. Our coverage guidelines are grounded in national clinical standards to help possible outcomes for patients. As y'all saw in the video, man, like, come on, bro. Apparently, you know, stage 4 lung cancer, that's pretty severe. And then on top of that too, like, he was medically cleared for it, so he should have. If we had Medicare for all, I'm gonna say this, he would have just had the surgery, pay for the transportation to Illinois, Chicago, get the surgery, he recover, and come back to California, a happy man. Medicare for all, like he could do what he was doing before he got sick. But no, now he gotta, what they said, 72 hours for the insurance to respond, which I highly doubt they will reverse the denial. It says Darren deserves this chance that we've been fighting so hard to make sure he gets. His friend Scott Curtis said, the only active and healthy father said his fight for life isn't over. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about, man. Like, man, hearing stories like this, man, and it really it just I'm not going through what Darren going through or what his family is experiencing, because I never had nobody in my family to have severe lung cancer, stage 4 lung cancer, and have a double lung, well, trying to get a double lung transplant. But like, man, um, all you just want for Darren and his family to be happy. That's all you want, man. Like, this middleman, this denial, because the mealy mouth PR wording. We trying to, we going by the standards. Like, fuck your standards. Like, your standards don't matter. Cigna, United Healthcare, Aetna, all of these insurance companies are the reason why thousands upon thousands of people are dead in this country, because denying coverage. So I hope, I hope. Well, I have no hope for health insurance companies, but I hope this man get his kidney transplant. Not kidney, lung transplant. I really do. All right, guys, on to the next story. All right, guys, I forgot to talk about this. Thank God I thought about it while I was doing the other segment. But apparently today we found out that U.S. and China agreed to temporarily slash tariffs and bid to diffuse trade war. Which, I mean, why are you why it's crazy. It's like Trump imaginary dream of a trade war is that he wants to bring the jobs back to the United States, which these corporations don't have the desire to do. Even Tim Cook said himself, like, yeah, we're not going, reason why we make iPhones in China is because, they have the manpower and they have the technology, something that the United States don't have. Like, that's what he said out himself. So I'm going to read this. It says the United States and China uh, took a step on Monday to defuse the trade war between the world's two largest economies, agreeing to temporarily reduce the punishing tariffs they have imposed on each other. Temporarily. Yeah, y'all gonna see what I'm saying. The move by the United States after Trump had repeatedly declared that he would not lower tariffs while concessions from China represented an acknowledgement of the cost of an all-out trade war with China. Despite the White House's bluster, the Trump administration backed off for now from its steepest tariffs and agreed to hold more formal talks with Beijing after companies and consumers showing growing signs of economic strain. That's the part right there. Trump was seeing that his numbers were going down as well. And then he see people concerned, like, hey man, this trade war that you started unprovokedly, it's gonna fuck up my small business. And then you had Walmart and Target CEOs went to the White House to say, hey bro, our shelves is about to get empty, bro, in a few weeks. Like, Trump had all this shit in his ear, then he basically he bend a little bit temporarily, right? But let me continue to read it. It says, explaining that many of the tariffs that he imposed remain in place, Mr. Trump said the White House on Monday that talks will be focused on part of opening up China to American businesses. He said that and expected to talk to President Xi Jinping of China this week, but that putting a full deal on paper will take a while. We're not looking to hurt China, Trump said. Yeah. In a joint statement released earlier today, the United States and China said they will suspend their respective tariffs for 90 days and continue negotiations they started this weekend. Under the agreement, the United States will reduce the tariffs on Chinese imports to 30% from its 45%, while China will lower its import duty on American goods to 10% from 125%. So here's a chart right here. February 1st, 10% on all goods. Then March 3rd went up to 20%. April 2nd, 54%. Then Trump's the 145%. Then right back down to 30%. Then right here, they retaliatory tariffs. So it went up to 125% and went back down 10%. So the outcome of the frenzied negotiation brought tariff rates close to where they were before Trump ratcheted them together on April 2nd, which he billed as Liberation Day. Oh God, why you had to name it Liberation Day? However, the talks did not appear to yield any meaningful concessions beyond an agreement to continue discussions. We concluded that we have a shared interest, Scott Bensett said at the news conference in Geneva, where U.S. and Chinese officials met over the weekend. The consensus for both delegations is that neither side wants a decoupling. China said it will suspend or revoke countermeasures adopted in retaliation for escalating tariffs. In early April, the Chinese government had ordered restrictions on the export of rare earth minerals and magnets. Yeah, that too. Critical components for cars, planes, and semiconductors. So why are you poking the bear? Like, why China owned this stuff to run to make semiconductors and our vehicles and planes and shit, and you gonna poke the bear? Like China said, hey, we ain't gotta get y'all this shit. Hey, we just we'll trade with Germany and let Germany charge you exorbitant rates for it. As an example. It said Mr. Business said the two countries might discuss deals for China to purchase more American goods. Such a deal could help narrow the American trade deficit with China. American goods, like, bro, most of the shit we got come from China. Oh, what American goods he talking about though? The agreement breaks an impasse that had brought such trade between China and the United States to a halt. Many American business has suspended orders, holding out hope that the two countries will strike a deal for lower tariff rates. Mr. Benson placed blame on the Biden administration for failing to honor its commitments to the trade deal that Mr. Trump reached with China during his first term. He said the current round of talks would aim a more fulsome agreement. Well, of course, they always got to blame somebody, right? Like, Biden kept Trump's original tariffs in place with China. He ain't going to talk about that, though. But okay. Let me continue here. Chinese factories have experienced a sharp decline in export orders to the United States, keeping additional pressure on a sluggish economy. Chinese producers look to expand trade to Southeast Asia and other regions to circumvent the U.S. tariffs, which I'm pretty sure China would have done effectively. Mr. Benson said the tariffs had affected and created an embargo, something neither side wanted. Two countries said continuing negotiations would involve Mr. Benson, Greer, and the U.S. Trade Representative, and he, lifelong China's vice premier for economic policy, who led the weekend talks for the Chinese. In a research note, Mark Williams, chief Asia economist for Capital Economics, said the agreement was another substantial retreat from the Trump administration's aggressive stance because it does not include any commitments by China or its currency or trade imbalances. He also noted that there was no guarantee that a 90-day truce would give way to a lasting agreement, especially if the United States continued trying to rally other countries to limit trade with China. So I'm gonna end it right there. It's a long read. So yeah, what I see from my perspective, I see that basically United States, Trump, folded like a lunch here because he realized that this is serious. Like, all of our shit made there, and and these companies are not trying. Like, it's gonna take years, even if, let's say, all of the companies left China and moved back to the United States to actually make things. Like, that would take years, bro. You know how long it's been? Like, almost 30 some years. All 30 some years of that to come back into with capitalism, time is money. Like, that's all capitalism about. Like, so yeah, man. That's really the breaking news today. So all right, guys, on to the next story. Okay, guys, so all right, I'm gonna talk about Bernie Sanders' typical rhetoric. He talks on both sides of his mouth, obviously. I'm gonna play the other video where he talks about Israel has the right to defend itself, but this is from 5 years ago. How can you say Israel has to defend itself when you call Benjamin Netanyahu this? But I'm gonna play this video. I think this was during the debate.
If elected, Senator Sanders, you would be America's first Jewish president. You recently called a very prominent, well-known American Israel lobby a platform for, quote, bigotry. What would you say to American Jews who might be concerned you're not, from their perspective, supportive enough of Israel? And specifically, sir, would you move the U.S. Embassy back to Tel Aviv?
Let me just The answer is it's something that we would take into consideration.
Which would?
But here, excuse me. But here is the point. I am very proud of being Jewish. I actually lived in Israel for some months. But what I happen to believe is that right now, sadly, tragically, in Israel, through Bibi Netanyahu, you have a reactionary racist who is now running that country. And I happen to believe that what our foreign policy in the Mideast should be about is absolutely protecting the independence and security of Israel. But you cannot ignore the suffering of the Palestinian people. We have got to have a policy.
Now, of course, Bernie Sanders, even 5 years ago, right? He'll say, "Oh, you got to protect Israel," but says, he says the crazy, benign shit first. Then he says the right thing, like, can't forget about the Palestinian people. And Benjamin Netanyahu is a racist. Obviously, I'll go beyond racist. Racist is too nice. Dictator. He's the modern day Hitler. Like, he's all of that. But I understand even at this time and junction, Bernie Sanders read the room when it come to Israel. It's almost done. This is a short clip.
That reaches out to the Palestinians and the Americans. And in answer to your question, that will come within the context of bringing nations together in the Mideast.
Nah. So that was that. Let me stop sharing. So that was that. 5 years ago. I mean, he was half right. I mean, he should have said Israel does not have the right to defend itself. But let's fast forward to now. 4 days ago, actually. Oh, Bernie Sanders. Lordy. Bernie Sanders is a full-on Zionist, man. He's a Zionist. Neocon, warhawk, call him any word you could think of. I really regret voting for this man. I really regret supporting him, donating to him. It couldn't be enough. You drop out, support Hillary Clinton, which it was a warhawk neocon herself, and then you drop out again and support Biden, which you said he was FDR, the next version of FDR. That right there was dumb your ass then, even then, 2020. And now, hey, let me show you my true Zionist colors. See, this is why AIPAC played his clip from CNN, I guess. And that's why they played it. Because they know. AIPAC know he's a Zionist. So, I skipped to the end because, typical Bernie Sanders fashion. For fucking 20 minutes of this video, he talked about, Israel is starving Palestinians in Gaza and all that stuff, which is true. But all of that to get spoiled by this end part. So I'm gonna play it. It's totally disgusting, man. Here we go.
The issue is not who started the war. Everyone knows who started the war. The issue is whether you commit war atrocities, criminal war acts, by punishing an entire people for the acts of a terrorist organization. Did Israel have a right to defend itself? Yes. Nobody denies that. Did it have a right to kill over 50,000 people?
Lord have mercy, man. Hamas is not a terrorist organization. Hamas is a militia group. Like I said earlier in the beginning of the live stream, they're mostly orphans whose parents died because the Israeli regime unalived them. So you make this soliloquy. You talk out both sides of your mouth. Israel has the right to defend itself against Hamas, but Israel shouldn't, starve Palestinians. First of all, you should say Israel needs to be a one-state solution. You know, like one state solution for Palestine, man. No two-state solution shit. Like according to the UN Council, it was supposed to agree to like make a Palestinian state, which is bonkers. Like that's the compromise, I guess. But Israel never wanted that. Like look what Israel doing now. So yeah, like this man is crazy. Bernie Sanders is a crazy old denying cook, man. So I'm gonna play the rest of this shit. Like yeah, I had to serve that.
People, 60% of whom are women, children, and the elderly? No. Did it have a right to injure 112,000 people? To destroy almost every housing?
So yeah, man. I'm gonna end it there. Like it's fucking insane. Israel has all of that, which he's not wrong most of the video. Like, but to say Israel has the right to defend itself and Hamas is a terrorist group? Are you out of your freaking mind, man? Seriously, are you out of your mind? He is. Bernie Sanders is beyond a cuck. So, all right, guys, that's the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I sure have. Shameless plugs before I go. On the bottom of your screen, follow the ATP Network Twitter account. Handle for that is at ATP Network 247. Like the video, it's free. It don't cost you a thing. It helps us out in the algorithm if you're watching on YouTube and Rumble. And also, too, I forgot to always mention, like, if you're watching this on Twitter, guys, please, I recommend you go to Rumble or YouTube, because Twitter, like, it don't, probably always don't send you the updates when I go live, so that's unfortunate. And anyway, I should not be relying on Twitter to get video views. I should be relying on Rumble and YouTube because they are bigger. They are actually just bigger, streaming platforms. So I just had to say that. And also, too, if you support Palestinian people and you support the cause of liberation, go to GazaFunds.com. Help out Palestinians in any way you can. Read their story. Donate if you can. If you can't, that's fine. Share it on your Twitter, your Facebook, whatever you got, man. It don't matter. More of these people need help. And I'm doing my part. Other people doing their part, but we need you as well, the viewer, to do your part. So yeah, y'all, GazaFunds.com. Like the video. Do what you gotta do. Follow us on Twitter, ATP Network 247. Yeah, man, put in the work for you guys. Some days I want to give up doing this shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes I feel like maybe what I'm saying isn't, adequate enough. But you gotta continue to push. So all right, guys. Thank you so much for watching the Good Faith Show. This is Andre Morton signing out. Have a good one. And oh yeah, I almost forgot. Fuck Benjamin Netanyahu.